Hey ladies, I wanted to go over diastasis recti with you, what diastasis recti is, and how we can fix it and diagnose it. So diastasis recti essentially is an abdominal separation. So when you have a baby, you've got like a sheet of abs here called your rectus abdominis. It's essentially what you see is like the six pack. You can see those muscles there on either side of your belly button. And those are like the big muscles that go in between. You've also got transverse, which is at the bottom, and then we've got our obliques on the side. So you've got like your core basically stabilizes your entire body. But when you have a baby, everything has to move to make room for your growing uterus and fetus. So those abs begin to stretch outward like a rubber band, essentially. So we lose some of the elasticity while we're pregnant. Now, if you have pretty good abs whenever you do get pregnant, you can really be more susceptible to diastasis recti because you're gonna stretch out even more because those abs are so tight in the beginning. So even if you have a really strong core when you get pregnant, you can still be susceptible to diastasis recti. Now, diastasis can also happen just after like extreme weight gain or weight loss. You can have that abdominal separation. It's essentially anything that's putting a ton of pressure behind that abdominal wall. So the stretching happens at the linea alba, which is connective tissue that hits in between your rectus. So that stretching and weakening happens right around the belly button area. Now, when I had both of my kids, I had a 4-finger diastasis recti. So like this, 4 fingers could go in between my rectus abdominis, which is pretty freaky if you've had a kid and you're like, oh, I'm gonna bounce back and get back in the gym and have a strong core again, and you can essentially stick your hand in the middle of your body. So I had a 4-finger split with both of my kids. I was able to fix it through proper exercise. After my first son, I did not do it properly, and I really created a lot of problems for myself because I just went back to the traditional core exercises, which are not going to be beneficial to you because you have that separation and that weakness. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to check and see if you have a diastasis recti. We're going to go over some of the problems and then how we solve those problems through proper exercise. And then I'm going to show you the core breathing technique that you need to know so we can really continue to do all the exercises that we need to do. So let's do that self-check right now. So you want to lay down on the ground. We're gonna lay down flat first. Your fingers are gonna go like this. So they're gonna be straight forward like this. When you lift your shoulders up off the ground, we wanna take the hand and you're gonna go like this, right above your belly button to start with. And then we're gonna kind of follow that line down. And you're gonna see, if you do have a diastasis, your finger is kind of disappearing in between your abdominal wall. So mine was about like a half a finger, 1 finger separation right now. It was a 4-finger separation, meaning all 4 of the tips of my fingers could fit in a line down my abdominal wall. It's a pretty extreme separation gap, and it was causing a lot of problems. So some of the problems that you might be seeing from an abdominal separation like this is bladder incontinence or weakness. Like if you're jumping on a trampoline and you pee, or if you're running and you pee, that's not okay. It's not normal. It's not a part of being a mom. Like that means you have issues. A lot of times it means you have a weak core and a weak pelvic floor because it wasn't fixed after childbirth. A lot of people just pop them out and keep going, which is fine. It's great. But if you're tired of peeing on yourself, fix it. You can also have chronic lower back pain, hip dysplasia. You can have pelvic floor issues, painful sex. A lot of things can be problematic from diastasis recti, so it needs to be fixed before you really continue into a workout program, because if it's not fixed, any kind of exercises you do like planks, crunching, twisting motions, anything where you're weighted is really going to put extra pressure on your abdominal wall because you haven't learned how to control your abs like you should. You should have some control of your abdominals. If you don't have control, you're really going to cause problems. You can actually cause the separation to increase because you're doing the wrong exercises, and you're going to be doing them the wrong way because you don't have the strength in your abs to do them properly. So I'm going to go over the core breathing technique with you in another video because this one's going to take forever if I do it on here. So anyway, the core breathing technique, it's really basic. It's really